谢谢。亲爱的裕华居民，你们好。很感动，看到这么多人这样支持我们。不过小妹我是在国立大学教英文科，所以中文不是很好，所以希望你们不会介意，今晚我会用英语跟你们谈话，好吗？Dear voters of Yuhua, good evening. My name is Wong Souk Yee, and I'm a lecturer in English language at the National University of Singapore. I've been active with the SDP for 20 years, and the party has been active for 35 years, walking the ground and listening to the problems of the people. In particular, we have 10 policy proposals on education, on health, on housing, on population, and the economy, and a few others. These are problems that Singaporeans face today. And we believe that our proposals will be able to help minimize these problems for Singaporeans. So nobody can say that we appear on the scene only once in 5 years. Today, I would like to talk about just one thing: why we need many more opposition voices in Parliament. If you go to the Parliament of Singapore website, you will find there a definition of the function of Parliament. What does Parliament do? Or what does an MP do? The function of Parliament, or the role of an MP, is to make laws and to take up a critical role to check on the actions of the governing party and the ministries. Please listen carefully to these words: to check on the actions of the governing party and the ministries. Now, those of you who are familiar with what goes on in Parliament will know that the PAP has something called a party whip, PNA. The party whip means that when it's time to cast their vote in Parliament for or against a bill to be passed, unless this party whip is lifted, PAP MPs must do what their leader tells them to do. In other words, they must vote for the bill even if they are against it, even if the bill is against their own conscience. So with the party whip in place, do you think that the PAP MPs can fulfill this role of checking on the actions of the governing party? And how many times has the party whip been lifted in Parliament? The answer is not many. What I do know is that the PAP party whip was not lifted in 1984 when they proposed the CPF minimum sum to lock up your savings. The party whip was also not lifted in 1994 when they introduced the GST, that is the 7% GST that we have to pay for all goods and services. And 2 years ago in 2013, the party whip was not lifted when they wanted to increase the population to 6.9 million. I think you can safely count with one hand the number of times that the PAP MPs can vote freely according to their own conscience. But even if the party whip is lifted, do you think that the PAP MPs have the courage to vote against the party? No. Back in 2002, do you know what Tan Soo Khoon said when Goh Chok Tong toyed with the idea of lifting the party whip? Tan Soo Khoon said, "So, what's new? I still have to get permission to disagree." So now, let me ask you, with the existence of the party whip, and with only 7 opposition MPs out of a total of 87 seats, can Parliament fulfill this role of checking on the government? As it now stands, what we have is a lopsided Parliament in which laws are passed without any meaningful debate or challenge. Therefore, what we need in Parliament is obvious. We need more opposition voices. We need more opposition voices in Parliament because PAP MPs are just not able to perform this important task of checking on the government. So now to conclude, when I say that we need more opposition MPs, we don't just need a few more. Even having 1/3 opposition is not enough, because that applies only to constitutional changes. In other words, if the government wants to change the constitution, they need a 2/3 majority. But if they want to raise the GST from 7% to even more, or if they want to increase the CPF minimum sum, or extend the age of your CPF withdrawal age, all they need is a simple 50% majority, and these changes will become laws. So, having a few more opposition is not enough. We need many, many more opposition voices in Parliament. Therefore, friends and residents of Yuhua, vote for the SDP and vote for my colleague, Jesslyn Goh. She's over there. Yeah. 那美女. Vote for Jesslyn Goh so that she can be your voice in Parliament. Jesslyn is a dedicated mother and a successful entrepreneur, all rolled into one. Not only can she understand and articulate your worries of bringing up children in our stressful system, Jesslyn is also a director of a company with a sales turnover of $2 million. And on top of that, Jesslyn is SDP's most effective fundraiser, without whom this GE campaign would have to be much more modest than it already is. Okay, I have one more thing to say about Jesslyn before I go. I think you would all agree with me that she is an uncle killer. True or not? But do you know Jesslyn's specialty? Her specialty is PAP minister killing. Not literally, of course. So residents and friends of Yuhua, please give your vote to Jesslyn. Send her to Parliament so that she can be your voice in Parliament. Let the SDP be your voice in Parliament. Thank you.